Howdy YouTube. Martinis are delicious, and I want to show you how to make a really good one. I want to show you how to make my go-to martini. And it's actually not even technically a martini, because I'm a martini purist, and martini only means one thing to me. But I guess this is going to be kind of like a Gibtini, not a Gibson, not a martini. I'll explain everything in a minute. Watch and learn. The way I like to do it is basically I end up building a true traditional dry martini right up to the end, and then I garnish it differently. Now, to be a true traditional dry martini, there's some things that are going to rock your world here, but the truth is what you get in your little V glasses sometimes with vodka is not really a traditional martini, dry martini. So we'll discuss these as we go. A traditional dry martini is served in a coupe glass, not a V glass. It always uses gin, always, always, always. It has a significant portion of dry vermouth, orange bitters, and it's garnished with a slice of lemon. And it's stirred. So let's begin the assembly process here. I'm going to start with the vermouth. Now, a lot of you out there will say, oh, just look at an unopened bottle of vermouth and that's enough. But I'm telling you, you are not keeping your vermouth right. If you refrigerate your vermouth, because it's a fortified wine, it will treat you very nicely, and it will change your opinion on it. And you can try it for yourself. Take some dry vermouth, separate out a little bit in a separate bottle and put it aside in room temperature, and then take the rest of the vermouth and put it in the fridge. After like a few days, do a side-by-side taste test, and you'll find refrigerated vermouth is so much better. And to the point where even in Italy and France, they dry vermouth by itself, just served neat as an aperitif. So we're going to start with a little bit. We're not going to go as extreme as the old recipes that were like 3-to-1, 2-to-1 gin to dry vermouth, because that's just excessive. But I'm going to, do a healthy little splash there. I'm not just rinsing the rocks in it and dumping it out. It really contributes something. Next, we're going to throw in 2 dashes of orange bitters. And then, of course, our gin. I love Hendrick's, so go with some Hendrick's. And we're going to stir it. Now, a lot of you will say, well, shaking a martini gets it colder. And I would say, that's partially true. It's more it gets it colder faster. But when you shake a martini, some people will say, oh, it bruises the gin. It doesn't bruise the gin. And that, I don't even know what that means. What shaking a martini does is it aerates the gin, and it makes it, frothy, it makes it cloudy, it changes the texture. So that's why the true martini is stirred. And when you stir, you want the inside of your bar spoon to be facing the center of the glass the whole time. And you just stir it until you get a nice bit of condensation on the outside. And that'll let you know that it's nice and cold. And meanwhile, we've been chilling our glass here with iced water. And when that's complete, I'm going to dump this. I'm going to use my Hawthorne strainer, strain it in. Okay, so everything up until this point has been traditional dry martini. If I were to garnish this with a lemon twist, which then it would be a complete traditional dry martini. Olives are not part of the equation. I don't even know where those came in. But this is where I deviate and I make it my own because I love Gibsons and I love cocktail onions. So I garnish mine with 2 cocktail onions. And there you have it. Now, if you were to say like, oh, well that's just a Gibson, Jalon, I would tell you you were not listening. Because a Gibson does not have orange bitters. If you removed this from the equation, yes, this would be just a straight up Gibson. It's a beautiful drink. Cheers. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. What's this door doing? What you doing, big man?
Oh, big stretch. No. You gonna shut up? No? You don't want to? Do you not like the camera?
It's like a muscle car parked at a stoplight.